Welcome back to Getting Started with Linux. I'm your host, Daniel Lowrie, and in today's episode, we will take a look at our introduction to RPM package management. Joining us yet again, lending his expertise, our good friend, Ross Brunson. Ross, glad to have you yet again. We took a look at the Debian-based package management system, and now we've got another package management system.
Right.
RPM. What is this business, and why is it different?
Well, RPM is a little different because the different distributions came up with their own distribution and package management scenarios. And so RPM was invented eventually, primarily by the folks at Red Hat. And there's an old book called Maximum RPM that was kind of fun to read because it was like how we, had fun and created RPM. But Red Hat package management has also been picked up by distributions like Arch and SUSE, OpenSUSE, etc. So there's two different strains or branches of package management. And I like to tell everybody, you need to know both of these, at least to a certain level. And that's because if you're going to be working in today's corporate environment, you're probably going to have several different distributions. Now, there are a couple of other very little used package management scenarios, one of which being Slack. So Slackware uses a particular kind of compressed file format, but really it's just the two.
Okay.
So let's take a look at the RPM side here, and let's start with the RPM command, which, as we talked about in the Debian side, we had the dpkg command, and it does that one thing and does it really well. Well, the RPM command serves the same function underneath the RPM management tools, and like when you do an install from the web or something like that, it's all done under the covers by RPM.
Okay.
So let's look here, and basically what we've done is the same thing. Let's go to downloads here, and we have the tree command, which I like to pick on. And what we want to do first is we want to use the RPM query tools to see if tree is actually installed on the system. So there's one thing that separates an RPM command that queries the package database and one that queries a package on disk, and that is the presence of the -p option. So if I were to do an RPM -q and then pipe, let's see, tree. Let's see what it'll do. Package tree is not installed. Okay, well, if I wanted to query the package on disk, the tree package, I would do an RPM -qp tree and then tab it out. And it would come back and say, oh, well, here's the package. All right. What I can do, the thing to remember is qlip, QLIP.
Okay,
now, you can do it any way you want. It can be plick, qlip, pilk, quilp, or something like that.
Any variation of those four
There
characters.
we go. But they got to have the P there in order to actually query the package on disk. So let's have a little fun with this. Let's do RPM, RPM -qi, and then the, QPI tree. After all that, I did. And it's going to come back with that same information that we got out of the Debian package by using the dpkg -deb and then I think -f. Okay, so it gives us a lot of information about the package. Also, what we can do is we can change that I out for an L, which gives us a listing of the files that are actually in the package. Okay, so that is very helpful because now you're going to see, let's see, so user bin tree, that's the executable, and then we've got the packages, it creates a directory, and then it puts in that directory, changes licenses, readme, and there's the man page. So you know exactly what's going to be installed when this package is installed. So, having said that, let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so I would do RPM, well, first of all, you have to do sudo, RPM -i, and now I will install it, but IV will verbosely tell you what it's installing. And my favorite option of all time is the H. RPM -IVH will give you a progress bar, which for a tool as big as Tree is almost instantaneous. But it's nice when you're doing a large install of Apache or something like that to see the progress bars as everything happens. So we'll just do tree. There we go. And put in my password, and you see that it says preparing instantaneous, installing instantaneous. So now I can run RPM -q and tree without the P, which means I'm querying the package database and it's installed. I can now do all of my querying, QIL, like that, tree, and hit, oops, see, let me think now. QIL.
Did it matter that you didn't have a minus or a dash sign in front of that?
Yes, it does.
Well,
As a
that
matter of
could
fact,
help.
it matters utterly. So RPM minus QIL and then tree is going to query the database and show me all that information.
Okay.
So good catch.
Yep.
Yes, it does. Linux and Unix, it turns into an English major in an instant.
Real quick.
So this is how I query the package in the database when it's installed. So let's go ahead and remove the package. And so we'll do an RPM, and now this will require us to have root privileges. So sudo RPM minus minus E for erase, and then tree. Now there's one thing to remember when you're removing packages. Let's say, for example, for the purposes of comparison, I had 2 separate versions of the tree command or any other command installed. And so I want to do an E and get rid of them. If there's more than one, it'll come back and give me an error message. And I'll have to specify the short package name, like the version of it, in order to get rid of it. Okay. If there's only one, I can just simply say, go ahead. There's one other option called minus all matches, which will remove anything that matches the short package name. Short package name is typically tree or something like that, or Apache. The long package name is up to the end of the versioning information before the architecture, etc. And so if it comes back and gives you multiple matches, that's fine. Throw all matches on there. Could you possibly get in trouble with this and it could have caused problems? Absolutely. If you remove the wrong version of something in an all matches, well, now you got to go back and put it back in. So we'll hit enter, and it's gone. So RPM minus Q tree, package tree is uninstalled. So just a quick look at the RPM packaging tool. One of the things that RPM doesn't do well, and this is the same thing for DPKG on the previous one, is it doesn't do dependencies. Now let's explain what dependencies are real quick. For example, for tree says, well, what do I depend upon? The libc library. Libc has to exist basically for the system to be installed because everything runs with libc. Yeah, so it's kind of the basis of almost everything. And so if that's not there, that dependency, you'll have to install the dependency. So I pick on a simple package like tree because it's very easy to install. When you get into the more complex packages, let's say you're doing something that's media related and it requires GStreamer and it requires VLC and it requires some other codecs. Well, doing this with the RPM command is going to be an exercise in patience and frustration because you're going to have to get the right packages in the right order and do them all, install this, install that, then install this, then install that, and then you'll find somewhere along the line you've done something wrong and you have to do it all over again. So we can turn to some of the package management tools that are out there, the suites. We talked about apt-get. There used to be an old thing called apt-RPM, which was kind of apt for the RPM side. There's Yum, which is the Yellow Dog Update Manager, which is out there. But the version of Linux, the distribution we're using right now, is OpenSUSE. And OpenSUSE and SUSE use Zypper. So that's the combination of libzip and the Zypper command. And it also is very similar in function to the apt-get suite of tools, only you don't have to put a dash in the middle. So let's take a little bit of a look at Zypper. So Zypper, we're going to go ahead and query. We're going to ref it. So Zypper refresh, which is similar to the apt-get update. So once again, we're doing our warm-up and we're getting ready. Now this is also going to require us to have root privileges. So remember to preface it with sudo zypper ref. Give ourselves a little room there. And it'll go out, grab the latest information, tell you that the package repositories have been refreshed. Now, these are online repositories like in apt-get. So this is maintained by the OpenSUSE team and also the SUSE Linux Enterprise if that's what you happen to be using. So that's the Zypper ref. That's similar to update. Now what we might want to do is we might want to do a Zypper SE for search. So you can really shorten these down if you want to. You can do the full keyword if you'd like. So tree. It's going to come back and give us a whole list of things that have the keyword tree in there. So you see that libos tree is installed. There's Perl and all kinds of fun stuff. We're just simply looking for this one down here, the tree command. And because it doesn't have an I next to it, let me show you. So libos tree has an I in that first column. That means that it's installed.
Huh.
Okay, so very simple and easy. And what you can do is you can filter this output. It's just console output. So I could look specifically just for tree or anything with tree in it. All right, so we also see that tree is not installed. Let's go ahead and install it. So sudo zipper in for install, and then tree. If there are multiple versions of tree available, it may come back and say, you have to specify more of this. But thankfully, that's not really what we have to do. So just like in the Debian side, it says, hey, we're about to download this. Do you really want to do this? Yes, and you can automate that by not echoing a Y, but specifying, don't ask me questions, just do it. Assume yes. And this will do a quick install. And so now when we go back to our zipper search tree and hit enter, you'll see that there's an I there. And that I says this is installed. And it has just been installed, is the notation. Okay? So you can do all kinds of fun stuff with this. You can also query the contents of packages and files and things like that. But the other thing that you can do is you can get rid of it.
Oh.
All right. So,
that seems like something you probably normally wouldn't want to do.
not usually.
Yeah.
Or we're just kind of closing
right?
the loop here.
Yeah.
Just like we did before. So I do a sudo zipper rm and then tree. And if there's only one of them, you can use the short package name. If there are multiples, you have to use the long package name or the version.
I thought you meant you were going to uninstall zipper. Like, get rid of
well,
zipper.
Zipper's dumb. See, you could do that. It was
you could, yeah.
kind of a recursive
That's why I
sort of
said
thing.
this is probably not something
I like this branch I'm sitting on. Let me saw through it.
Yes. Do the old Wile E. Coyote.
That's right. That's right. As where you hang in air for a little bit as you realize the really bad thing you've done.
This is wrong.
And then go. All right. So, and then of course it's going to ask you, would you
Always
like to do this?
Yep.
Yes. Thankfully it does that. And now tree is truly gone. So sudo zipper se tree, and you'll see that it is now installed.
Excellent.
Right. So there's a couple of other things, just a real quick one here. There's this fun thing, the concept of the repositories, online repositories. And so when you're in Debian, you can look in the etc apt sources.list directory, or the file, and see the repositories that are there. But it's really easy here. I'll see if I can do it without doing the sudo. Zipper lr. Zipper lr lists the repositories that are available for this system. Now, this one has got quite a few things in it, so this is actually SLES 15. But there's this great thing down here called Pacman. Pacman is the OpenSUSE or third-party, already checked, kind of recommended software, big repository of fun stuff. And so you can add Pacman on, kind of like you would say in some of the other operating systems, Solaris or something like that, would add that third-party add-on tool thing. Pacman's really great for that stuff. So it'll have all kinds of interesting stuff in there that will not be part of the regular distribution.
That's where you find the stuff that you can get in trouble with.
Yeah,
Right?
of course. Well, no,
What are you doing with that
You
computer?
get in trouble in standard OpenSUSE. Real fun. Just fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. RPM-based package management. Not a big scary beast, right? It's something easy. And you never know when you're going to be working with an RPM-based system. And we threw in zipper there for flavor, right? It's always a good time. Thanks for joining us, everyone. But it looks like we're at the end of this episode. We've got more to come, so stay tuned. Until then, we'll see you next time.